I have had a few realizations lately. The first one is that I was walking home after a very busy day of doing 500 things at once. Like, I had not even 30 minutes consecutively time for myself. I was just so busy. And I was walking home exhausted, and I thought to myself, wow, the reason why I'm such a high functioning achiever is because I was so traumatized. And then I paused because I thought, what a stupid thought. Hi, welcome back to True Alchemy Academy, your place for all things ancient wisdom in the modern world. What a stupid thought. I caught it and I thought, you know what? I don't want to constantly think that qualities I have are only because born out of trauma, that they're just because I've been traumatized. I don't like that idea because maybe I'll start to believe that I need more traumatizing events to continue growing, which I don't believe in my mind. Maybe my body hasn't caught up to it yet, which I'll also talk about today. But I thought, just because I've been traumatized, it doesn't mean that I'm broken and that I have to stay broken. So, of course, this is your spiritual space for every topic, every tool, everything. So, today I want to talk about my experience with these thoughts. And I had this one thought the other day. And so now my thought is that I don't need to associate good qualities that I have with being traumatized. Like, I just don't need to do that. I'm allowed to have really good qualities born out of something besides trauma. I'm allowed to do that. Like, I'm allowed to have that. Do you know what I mean? I'm allowed to have happiness and peace and love. I'm allowed to have that. And I'm allowed to have qualities that are really helpful born through that. So, today, let's do some somatic exercises to kind of release. Okay, before we get into a tool and an exercise today, I want to explain how the mind can sometimes understand something, but the body is so far behind the thought. So let's say that you really understand manifestation. So your mind, how would I even, yeah, okay. This is your mind, and it has really elevated thoughts. So it's high in the air. I'm not left handed, by the way, just so you guys know. I'm not really left handed. So your thoughts are elevated, right? This is your thought. Thought. And you're having thoughts like, I understand manifestation, I understand the law of attraction, I understand how to teach people these theories, but my body, which is here, has not yet caught up to my thoughts. So this actually looks like perhaps a separation from them. And maybe I should have drawn them closer, but there's a separation. So your thoughts are really high, but unfortunately, your body is still kind of feeling a little bit lower. So this means that, like, you've quantum leaped in your mind. You already kind of understand how things are supposed to go. You understand the new person you want to be. You've done a vision board. You've started to think like that person, but your body is still wired for survival. It's still wired for patterns to show up in your life. And so you see these patterns continuously showing up, even though in your mind you're like, I know it doesn't have to be this way. So, what has really helped me is this very simple exercise. And I've actually made a video about it before, but we're going to do it again. This is a yoga block. So, I like to use this during yoga, obviously, but like also to somatically release things in my life. So, of course, ideally, you would be seated on the ground where you have more room, and you place a block in between your thighs where your knees are. This way, whatever feels better for you. I'm in very tight jeans, so I suggest doing this in sweatpants. And what you're going to do is you're going to push your knees together and squeeze them until your legs start to shake, like vibrate. So mine are kind of shaking, but I want them to shake even more. Like I really want to let that out. So I would say maybe 30 seconds of shaking and squeezing and then release. And you'll kind of begin to feel that emotional shift. I can feel it already. Like I can actually feel the emotions in my chest. Obviously, it's unideal for me to cry on this YouTube video. So I'm not going to keep doing it. But I can already feel it. And it was like the first 15, 20 seconds. So again, between the knees, push together, and your body is just shaking. And while you do this, you can imagine that the shaking is like the leaves. You know how leaves from a tree fall during autumn? You can imagine as your legs are shaking that you're shaking away these old identities, these old things, this old pattern. You're releasing them, you're letting them fall. And you can just really squeeze and release. It's amazing. It's amazing. There's also another really nice somatic exercise you can do. This one's a little bit more graphic, like to present to someone else. So, if your jaw is really tight and you haven't been fully expressing yourself or you feel really tight, you're going to place your fist underneath your nose, underneath your chin, not your nose. You're going to inhale. You're going to count to 5. And then you're going to open up your jaw all the way, push, and you're going to silently scream. And you're going to do that about 4 or 5 times. I already feel better. I haven't done it in quite a while. That's another really nice somatic release. You can also do a massage in your rib. Okay, so you can see my full diaphragm. These are all ancient techniques to really help you live a better quality of life because ancient wisdom can really take you from one place to another. It can really help you just be better, like it within. And every time that you feel better within, your world changes around you. You you have an amount of stress at work, but then you learn ancient wisdom tools to help balance that stress. And maybe as you integrate more and more spiritual tools, ancient tools, you start to see life differently and new opportunities open and different things change. So in a year, your life could look completely different and you could be a lot more happy, you could be a lot more calm. So this is why True Alchemy Academy and the Ancient Academy were built, because it's an all-in-one spiritual platform that teaches you all of these tools. I built it myself. I practice the tools. I know what I'm talking about. This used to be me, keep in mind. And now I think I look younger for sure because I'm so much happier and I've let so much of those leaves and that baggage go. So this is another really good one. I warn you though, I saw what I was holding on to in a dream after I did this one night, and it was pretty crazy. So we're taking our hands, we're massaging just underneath our ribs. We're going in a little bit. Now, it's kind of painful for me, so I know that I have something to do with my intestine. I need some work done, especially here, but we're just kind of pushing it in. And we're just massaging. Like I said, we hold a lot in our body, so somatic release is really nice. And again, you can imagine like the energy moving, things shifting. And then when you feel like you're kind of ready and you've released, you can. So, those are 3 really simple somatic exercises that you can do when you feel like intuitively, when your body feels like you need it done. Now, sometimes it's hard to listen to your intuition when you're constantly on the go, and I understand that. So, maybe plan to do somatic release once a week when you think you'll have time. So, like an hour carve an hour out to just specifically do somatic release. It'll start to really, really help. And I understand that there are so many tools. Implementing them all at once is obviously insanely impossible, of course. However, when you start with some tools, you begin to, oh, I had a download. Sorry. That's what it looks like when you are downloading information. You just kind of like immediately zone out. Look, I did a somatic release and I already had information coming to me. I'm telling you that, like, once you do these, life is going to be crazy. So let's aim to do one somatic release or a half an hour of somatic release every week. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to do it every day. I wouldn't suggest doing it every day because you need time to integrate the material that we've released. So let's go collectively. When you watch this video, I want you to do every Friday. Every Friday, 30 minutes of somatic release. We're all doing it together. Somatic. Oh my God. So, how does this even work? Somatic release. That doesn't look very nice. Every Friday, let's 30 minutes of somatic release. Come back to the video, comment how it went, and let's do this thing. If you want to learn more tools, you're more than welcome to join us inside the Ancient Academy, which is what I was telling you about. I'll put the link and all of the information in the description about everything we kind of offer at True Alchemy Academy. I'm always open to discussing things, new topics, whatever you kind of want to learn. I'm super happy to teach, and I look forward to seeing you next week, you guys. So please subscribe to the channel if you really liked it. Drop me a little thumbs up, and I look forward to just creating more of these.